The biggest question when it comes to getting in shape, and to be honest, with most things where you want a certain outcome at the end, how fucking long? How long is it going to take for me to get in the shape that I actually want to? And you know what? On this channel, I speak at length about not having a quick fix mindset, but I'm also a fair person and understand you deserve to know the time frame you're getting yourself in for. Why? Because you can best equip yourself. If you know it's going to take X amount of months, mentally you will set yourself up for that amount of time. If you think it's going to take this a short amount of time and it ends up taking longer, you will lose motivation, you will dip out, you will not get the result, which if you're a returning viewer of the channel, you've seen how many videos I've done on the bounce every day. I think it's something like maybe 180 or close to it, days on the bounce of delivering just free shit. You know I actually want people to get results from the content. I get people messaging me on Instagram saying, you've helped me, this is good. That's nice. So I actually want you to get in shape, believe it or not. I want you to take this information and get yourself in shape. So it'd be nice if you knew how long it'd take and then you could position yourself accordingly. If you're new to the channel, by the way, welcome. My name is Tom Sergi and I run the Gorilla Platoon. This is an online physique transformation program where I get results like this for my people, which is fucking awesome. So the topic of this video, we're going to discuss how long does it take for you to get jacked. And the reason I've used this result here was I think this start point is fairly relatable to a lot of people. This guy's about 17% body fat, which for the average person, that's quite consistent with people that train quite often and have a rough understanding of nutrition, but you just need to sharpen the blade, tighten up a few areas, and the fucking potential there is there, boys. You've got a shit ton of potential, trust me. If you think I'm struggling to build muscle, I'm struggling to get in shape, just know you're doing something wrong. Every human body can fucking build muscle and get in good shape. I know I'm speaking in absolutes, you probably shouldn't do that, but just trust me, like, I've seen it enough times to know that people can start in poor condition and end up in fucking good condition. Start in poor condition, end up in good condition. I've seen it enough times to know that people can look fucking good if they do the right things. That's why I can speak so, like, firmly on this topic. So, we're going to go into this video and explain how long, roughly, it's going to take to get jacked. Now, the way I break this down, you've got to break this down into phases, okay? So, if you go from this point here and try to just bulk, you won't look like this guy here. And the reason I wanted to make a note of his scale weight being the same in both photos is because you motherfuckers are married to your scale weights. You're like, I weigh this much. No one gives a fuck. How do you look? Oh, well, I'm exactly. It doesn't matter about the scale weight. The scale weight is just a data point. It's just something you're going to use to know if you're making progress or when you're on the way up or on the way down. It doesn't fucking matter. These guys look two completely different images, but they're the same weight. Obviously, it's the same person, but like they're X amount of months apart, which you're going to find the answer to very soon. So when you start off at this position, don't go into a gaining phase, which is not popular advice. You could, but I actually don't think you would be able to stomach it. The reason I say that is if you are somebody that sees themselves as slightly fit, slightly disciplined, and you go to the gym quite often, when you start bulking from this point here, you're going to get, well, you're 17% body fat already. So it's not going to take too long until you're at 20. When you go past 20, you're pretty fat. You are not going to like that as your self-image. When you look in the mirror, you will not be proud. When you take your top off in front of birds, you will not be proud. When your mates see you without your top on, you will not be proud. And you won't have the bandwidth to stick out a gaining phase for long enough. Which means you'll have gained for like maybe a month or two. And you'll be like, oh, fuck, right, better cut anyway. In which case you made no progress. You just span your wheels. So I would honestly say wipe the slate clean. You look bigger when you're leaner as well, by the way. We initially did the first phase with this guy. We did a recomp phase. This is the art of pulling off the body fat slowly whilst also building the tissue. This was the result we got at the end of it. Here. Granted, it's a bit blurry because I've blown the image up. Apologies. Started at the same scale weight he is here, 78, got down to 70. Then from there, we're now in a prime position. We're now in an absolutely prime position, lean and responsive to the way the body will utilize nutrients, which is very important when you go into that gaining phase. Because you need the fuel to drive performance in the gym. All the way throughout your full transformation in getting jacked, your numbers need to be progressing in the gym. Now, in the last week of the dieting phase to get shredded, are they going to maintain? Probably. You're going to be able to increase them on that week? No. But that's 1 to 2 weeks out of the full process. Apart from that, numbers, week on week, up, 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 up. You've increased through reps. If you've maxed your rep range, you then add more load. If you can't add more load, or you can't increase your rep range, then add another second of time under tension. Do that across a set of 10. That's another 10 seconds. That's easy, a rep and a half in the tank anyway. You can progress every time you step on that gym floor. You need to. Every session is fucking war. Do not miss on your gym sessions, because that is what will build muscle. You can eat all the protein. You can eat the best diet in the world. It doesn't matter. You won't look like this if you don't go to fucking war in order to develop your physique. I know, because I've seen motherfuckers that tickle weights and they don't really change in shape or size. Don't let that be you. So, after you've finished your diet phase, let's go down to the actual slide I had up for this. You're then going to go into reverse diet. This is where you slowly start to add food back rather than going straight to maintenance. Because if you're in a fair deficit, if you go straight back to maintenance, your body just won't be efficient at using all that extra food and calories. So staircase your way back up to it. Give it a bit more food, run it for a week. Give it a bit more food, run it for a week until you get back to maintenance. And the beautiful thing about this is it sets you up in a way to approach an off-season correctly, where you just keep adding a little bit more food when two things are giving you the signals. The scale weight has not increased for at least 2 weeks, then add more food, 200 calories normally through carbohydrates. Your numbers in the gym are not progressing. If that happens for a full week across most, like at least 60 to 70% of lifts, add more calories. They're like absolutes, I would say, go off. And then what that's going to do is it's going to keep you in that mindset looking for those two metrics, and then every time you can just add a little bit more food. You don't fucking skyrocket the food. You don't go out eating bullshit. You don't go dirty bulking, because the problem with dirty bulking is you will lose the sensitivity to the way your body will partition nutrients, because you're eating shit, you're eating seed oils, you're just not eating good quality foods. If you ate the same foods that you had when you were dieting down for when you're building up, your body will thank you a fucking hell of a load for it. Now, to answer the question, this full result took 6 months. So in 6 months, this guy went from looking like this, dieted down to 70, and then bulked back up towards 78. In 6 months, he got fucking jacked. That's pretty fucking cool. 6 months is not a long time. If you start in January, by the time it's the summer, you're going to be fucking, let's be honest, you're going to be getting better birds than you were the summer before. Let's just be brutally honest about this. So in 6 months' time, you can look in good shape. And why I like to speak about this is I'm not for a quick fix, but I don't think 6 months really is a quick fix anyway. So if you can commit to this, you're going to look fucking good in 6 months' time. And you're going to look good, but you're also going to be in a good position to keep bulking. Like this guy's 78, came up from 70. This guy's still got visible clean-cut abs, 8 kilos up. And he's filled out very, very nicely across the delts and the arms and the pecs. This guy can push to probably around 90 kilos before he needs to do another cut. Before he gets to that same body fat of 17, 18, maybe 19% body fat. Then he cuts back down. And by the time he cuts back down, he's sat around 81, 82. From 78, where his body fat was 17%, so take off fucking 7% straight away of that number. The amount of muscle gained is fucking drastic. But you're going to be happy in 6 months' time. And that's the most important thing. You're going to be happy. You're going to feel confident in 6 months' time. Don't be fucking content. Keep going until you look like a Greek god, absolutely. But you're going to be happy. And that's not that much work away. So this should really inspire and motivate you. Now, here is a caveat. If you are carrying this much body fat, then this is going to take you about 20 weeks. I won't bullshit you. If you need to drop 20 kilos like this guy and this guy did, then straight away, it's going to take you 4-5 months to do so. This guy did it in 16 weeks. This guy was 20. It's going to take that long. So let me manage your expectations. If you're around 17% body fat though, and you do this, and you do the recomp, your recomp should be anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks. And then your reverse and your gaining phase should at least match the same, and you should be roughly around about the same scale weight you started. This was 16 weeks. This was 12. This was 10. This was just a pure lean shred up. This was 10. This is another prime example, and I did a video on this. This is a year's worth of work. This is where in the video we explained the recomp phase, the diet phase, and then the gaining phase. And he also done a mini cut, so he's further along than this guy. This guy, I'm showing you the same scale weight because that's quite nice to do. This guy has been through the full process and has done a mini cut as well. So this is what an even extended version of this video would look like. Again, here's a good example of when you've bulked for a long time, put on a fair amount of body fat, and then we peel you back up. You look like fucking superhuman. 12 weeks, 9 weeks, 14 weeks. So just understand that, like, your start point will determine, obviously, how long this process is going to take. So just as a rule of thumb, and this is quite good to speak about because it'll capture more of you watching, 17%, probably 18. This guy's more towards 20. This guy's probably around 17. Your initial recomp phase, 8 to 12 weeks. Then it's going to take you probably roughly around 3 months to get back up to that. So there's 6 months of work, but you're going to look pretty fucking good. If you're starting off at this point here, I mean, don't get me wrong, this guy looks like fucking Greek god at this point here, because he'd also been for a big bulk. And this is the thing, a lot of you, if you've been training for a while and you are quite fat, when you shred back down, you'll realize how much muscle you actually have underneath your adipose tissue. The thing is with the adipose tissue, it makes everything look smooth and soft. But as soon as you shred up, everything looks bubbly and fucking crispy and sharp. So understand then that this is going to be a lot longer time frame. Of course it is. Like, this was 16 weeks, and then you go into your gaining phase and come back up. But again, all these people had a lot of tissue to begin with, so we've just revealed that off. So obviously it'll depend on your start point, but you can know roughly, if you're in and around 20% body fat, within 6 months' time of solid work, you'll be back to roughly around the same scale weight, and you'll look like a fucking superhuman. So if you didn't take any technical advice from this video, which there normally is, at least take some motivation from this, that it's not that out of reach to get in fucking great shape. Don't look at getting in great shape as this like magical thing that only a select guys can do. They're just a little bit more disciplined, a little bit more consistent, a little bit more resilient than you are, and they stuck to the process for long enough and they got the result. You can have the same. Like, you really can. It is that simple. It's just easier said than done. It's easier said than done because motherfuckers want like quick fixes and they just don't have the mental bandwidth. So that's how long it takes to get jacked. Go out and get fucking jacked. Comment below when you are jacked. Comment below if you got any issues. Subscribe to this channel if you're not already, you fucking motherfucker. And if you want to work with me, there'll be links in the description. So, thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.